Hello, everybody. My name is Megan Ambrose, and I'm glad to be in this class with all of you as we go through this journey, almost to the finish line. So, it's very exciting. I'm doing my field practicum at Kauai Delta Medical Center, and I'm learning so much in the short time that I've been there, and I'm just excited to get started. Um, you know, Being put on my own and getting ready to work with clients. Going over each of the competencies and everything else and how to rate myself. The first one is competency number one and demonstrating ethical and professional behavior. With this one, I would say that I am, I feel like I would be a number 4 or like 4.5, almost there. I feel like I do exhibit professional behavior when it comes to meeting with clients and, keeping everything intact with dress code and policies and confidentiality. I feel like that's such a big one. Um, and I just feel like in the field, there's so many ethical dilemmas that could come about. And, there's just could be times where you're just not really sure. But asking for help is always the right way to go. So that's why I feel like I am with that one. With competency number 2, engaging diversity and difference of practice. I feel like I could be like a 3.5, maybe, just because I haven't worked with all cultures. There's some that I have worked with a lot more than others, but there is so much still for me to learn. And I feel like that's what's just so great about being a social worker is that every day we're learning and getting to, learn more about cultures and diversity and like ethical backgrounds and race and biases and values. And I feel like there's just so much just to learn. I feel like I do have self-awareness though, when it comes to being my personal bias and values with diverse groups. However, I feel like when I am working as a social worker, I feel like I know how to turn that off. I know how to, you know, understand what the client is thinking and, what they value and what they believe. So I feel like I do that very well. And I feel like also looking at populations that are oppressed and marginalized or alienated. I feel like I handle those situations very well. I'm working with those clients and, just trying to get to understand their point of view and, where they come from is really important. For competency number 3, the advanced human rights, social, economical, and environmental justice. I feel like with this one, I could maybe be a 3, just because, like I said, there's always stuff to learn, like on a local, state, and federal level. And it's always important to ask questions about these topics and things about like social justice and along those lines. I don't have a lot of experience with this. When it comes to like environmental justice, I do have some, but I feel like I need a lot. I need more to improve in this area. But I feel like I do advocate for my clients very well. I feel like if nobody else is going to bat for them, then I am that person to do it and making sure that they're getting the best care and the best resources that need to be provided. So I feel like that's really important as well. For number 4, engaging practice-informed research and research-informed practice. I feel that I could be maybe at 2.5, maybe 3. I feel that when it comes to research, this is not my strongest suit, but I am aware of research and how it's used. Not sure about how it's used in my facility yet, but I hope to learn more about it and, go from there. And how we use statistics and data, if we use them, I would like to know that. So that's where I am with that one. And competency number 5, engaging in policy practice. This is something that I feel like I am I would say a 3.54 in. I feel like when it comes to policies that they're there for a reason and, training at the state and local policies level and the impact that it makes on populations is something to be aware about and is important to know. And learning how the policies within the medical facility that I'm in now and how that transitions into clients' populations. That'll be interesting for me to see, so I'm really excited about that. For number 6, engage with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. I feel like that I engage fairly well with these individuals. I feel like I come off, really calmly and, positively. And I feel like that's something that we need as a social worker, is knowing that we have your best interest in, at all times when it comes to um, clients, and also outlining specific interventions. Um, I feel like when it comes to individuals, being discharged, knowing their plan and knowing, if we need to go look out for resources, if we need to go look out for shelters or for family members, if like that's important. And I've kind of already seen this go into play at the facility, so I'm excited to do it myself. Competency assessing individuals, families, groups, and organizations, committees. Assessing them, I feel like I could be really strong in this. I feel like I could maybe be a 3.5, 4 maybe. I feel like I do very well when it comes to assessments, and trying to dig in a little bit more deeper with the client and trying to understand them and their situation as a whole. One thing that I feel like I could maybe struggle on is if a client, kind of throws something at me that I've never heard before, and maybe not knowing how to respond. I feel like that could be something that could be maybe an issue in the future. So yeah. Competency 8, intervene with individuals, family groups, organization, communities. I feel like I communicate with the other social workers very well that are supervising me, and I feel like collaborating with them, to implement strategies and assess clients is a very important way, for me to learn as a student. And I feel like collaboration is just a lot in the social work field. I mean, even them as themselves, they even say that they collaborate every day with each other. So I feel like that's really important to do. Number 9, evaluate practice with individuals, family groups, organization, communities. Self-reflection is very important. And I feel like since I've began the practicum, this past week, I feel like I've been doing a lot of it every day after I leave. I feel like when I sit home and I go over my notes about what I've taken, throughout the day, I feel like I go back and reflect on, okay, when this happened, like, is there something else I could have done? Is there something else that the social worker could have done? And I've even had like a chance to go back the next day and ask those kinds of questions, like, hey, like yesterday when this happened, like, do you think that maybe we could have done this, or was there like a different way to go about this? And that I feel like I'm grateful to be in a place where I feel comfortable asking those questions. And I feel like even, reviewing the cases and supervision and discussing theories is really important as well. And of course, it all applies to the different individuals that we interact with. So, yeah, I'm excited to be in this course, in this practicum, and I can't wait to see what else I learn.